is Kelly. I'm with MetaStock, and it's my pleasure here to introduce Fausto. We always love having Fausto come in and talk about level 2 markets with us. But before we get started, one of the things I need to do is actually I just need to read you a quick disclaimer to get started. If you've been in one of our meetings before, you know how we roll. So let's just go through this for one quick minute and we'll be ready to go. This presentation is designed to introduce you to MetaStock and accompanying software and data. It is not intended as a recommendation to buy or sell. The information, software, and techniques presented should only be used by investors who are aware of the risk inherent in trading. Thomson Reuters shall have no liability for any investment decisions based on the use of their software, any trading strategies, or any information provided in connection with these companies. Okay, with that being done, tonight we're going to have Fausto talking to us about mirroring the dominant marker makers and uncovering their secrets, and really talking about how to use level 2 data to really establish your trades. And that's one thing where Fausto really excels, going back to being one of the first independent day traders to take advantage of direct access trading, and then just expanding his knowledge from there. And every time we have Fausto in, I learn something new. I'm not going to spend a lot of time introducing him because I know he's going to give you some direct background on himself. So let's go ahead and turn it over to Fausto. And
Kelly, thank you very much for that introduction. Can everybody hear me loud and clear? Can everybody hear me okay? Excellent. Thank you very much. Kelly, thank you very much. And I'd like to thank MetaStock for having me again. I always look forward to talking to the MetaStock traders. Obviously, this is a very volatile market that we've been having with gold and silver breaking crazy, unbelievable highs, and not only that, but the stock market is obviously following along. We're getting a very weak dollar. That's also affecting, the trading, what's going on, and obviously these are things that are great opportunities to go out there and learn how, to make money in this market. But the most important part and the biggest failure rate, if you want to capitalize on these markets that are going on, is that you need to know how to do it, where to find them, how to dissect them, and that's why MetaStock has invited myself, Cybertron University, and other speakers to come here and talk to your behalf. Because listen, with a great platform like MetaStock, and that has a lot of great bells and whistles, I'm going to talk about some of the bells and whistles that I use on that MetaStock platform. By you using them that way, it's going to help you to dissect what to look at, what to not to look at, and so on. So anyway, what I like to do is I like to just change the slide here. And just a quick little introduction about Cybertron University, just let you guys know a little bit about us before we move forward. I'm the founder and CEO of Cybertron University. I started the company back in 1995. Like Kelly just mentioned to you earlier, we're one of the first independent instructors of schools actually to start in this industry. Also, if you notice right here, I'm one of the original SOES bandits. What that means is, actually there was, before there were traders, day traders, they were actually called SOES traders. So, I'm one of the, when I first started, there was about 1,000 of us. Now there's over 10 million traders all over the world, plus all over the world. Myself, I started the company by being a very good trader myself. Now listen, just a little history, just to let you know. Before I became a very good trader, I was a horrible trader. And what I mean by horrible is that I never knew what I was doing. I was a stockbroker. I thought I knew how to trade. And then what ended up happening was, after losing, I realized the reason why I was losing is because I didn't know what I was doing. So I got some education, learned how to do it, being fortunate, being based out of New York, and learning from some of the best traders, because I had a lot of friends in the industry, became very successful at it. And what ended up happening is there wasn't too many places you could learn how to do this, so that's how Cybertron University was born. Now, people always ask me, Fausto, if you're such a good trader, why do you teach? Well, just to let you know, I do both, okay? I teach when I trade, so I'm one of the very few people out there that you're going to meet that if you watch, I'm going to show you some presentations this evening about some things of trading. I'm one of the very few that actually trade with their students while I teach. Now, just kind of proud to say that I'm also a 6-time champion at the Traders Challenge. Beat almost every single school that I went up against. Actually, I beat every school that I went up against. So I'm proud to say that, which is great because, listen, the whole idea is when you want to learn from a trader. And everyone here at Cybertron University has 6 years experience. And like I said, we've trained thousands of traders all over the world. Now that you guys know a little bit about me, let me tell you a little bit about the mistakes of what is going to help you become a good trader and what's going to prevent you from being a bad trader. First most important thing is execution system. Half the people lose in trading by having the wrong system. Now, obviously, you're here, log into MetaStock, so there's no dispute there. You have the right system. You have the right platform to use. But the thing that you have to make sure that I found a lot of people make mistakes on is having the wrong brokerage account. Now, there's a very big difference between direct access and online brokers, okay? Direct access gives you instant access to the market, and where direct online brokers, they're basically just a middleman. You're sending them an email, and they're kind of doing the trades for you. Now, the key about direct access is what the MetaStock platform does offer, which is called level 2 quotes. Now, just really quick, if everybody could just be more interactive and like to ask some questions, does anybody here know how to read level 2 quotes? Just give me a chat back. Yes, no, a little bit. Everybody could just put that in the chat. Just want to get to let everybody know everybody's little experience here. Joel says no. Okay. Joey, what about you? William? Danny? David? A little bit. Larry says no. Chase says no. Chip says no. Wow. Incredible. That's anyone else? Don't be shy. No one's going to embarrass you. Don't worry. MetaStock is not going to close you close your user because you don't know how to use one of the most important windows on the platform. Anyway, I'm going to let me give you a little quick breakdown of basically how it works. All right, let me get my pointers out here. Hold on one second. My crayons, if I remember how to use these. Pencil tool. Okay. Now, B stands for buyers. S stands for sellers. Now, if you notice, you have 4 important columns here. Column 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, the first column is giving you a 4-letter abbreviation of the brokerage firm's name. So now you know exactly who those brokerage firms are. The second column is telling you the time that that brokerage firm actually posted that price. And actually, for me, that's really more information than you really don't need. The third column is obviously very important because it tells you how many shares that brokerage firm wants to buy. And column number 4 is telling you the price. So actually, column 1, 3, and 4 are very, very important to have on your system because now you get to see who was buying it, how many shares they want to buy, and at what price they want to buy that at. Now, let's have a little pop quiz here, okay? Can everybody tell me, how do stocks go up and down in the stock market? Anybody tell me? What it makes your profession to know what's going up and going down? Very good. Danny's the only one here who can answer that. Give Danny a free month of the MetaStock for that. Well, that's right. Supply and demand. So you have to ask yourself a question. Do you know who controls the supply and demand? Well, without level 2, you're really kind of trading blind without it. So it is very, very crucial that you have that level 2 on the MetaStock. Now, I know Kelly's probably going to talk about at the end of the presentation. You should call the rep and turn it on. But let me explain something to you. The most important window on the execution system that makes your charts work, your time and sales work, your indicators work, your top 20 work, everything that works, your watch list work, your ticker work, all is dictated on what happens in level 2. So one thing, at the end of this presentation, I'm going to offer all of you guys a free 2-day course that people tell me to learn more in the paid in this course than it actually took in a paid course. I'm going to go in great detail during the market hours and show you this, how it works. So so you definitely want to stick around to the end for that, you know, that link to register for. But just to let you know, I'm going to cover a lot of this, but in the meantime, you should be finding out and making sure you have this window up. Now, any questions about level 2 before we move on? Any questions? All right, if anybody doesn't have any questions, let's go to the next most important window. Time and sales. Now, time and sales on a MetaStock is, and I really like how they have it color coordinated and graphed and everything. Time and sales is going to tell you where the transaction's taking place. Now, when you buy a stock, obviously, even though you see buyers and sellers out there, you need to see exactly if they're getting executed. Well, the time and sales window is going to tell you every single confirmation of a trade that went off. Once again, just like Danny said, stocks go up due to supply and demand. Well, how do you know if those buyers and sellers really bought and sold the stock? Well, it comes from the time and sales. Well, I know a lot of you here really love and I love them myself on the MetaStock platform, their charts, but let's be honest, where does that data come from? Well, it comes from the time and sales. Well, think about it. You'll be one step ahead of everyone else just by seeing those transactions taking place in time and sales than looking at a chart. Now, I have it's not the Fausto Pugliese Cybertron University strategy, but I was taught by some of the best traders on Wall Street. In this free event I'm going to offer you guys, I'm going to show you exactly how to use that time and sales window to trade and know and have a game plan of knowing where the strength is and the weakness is on that stock. Once again, it's all about having a game plan. Now, talking about market makers, what I was always also taught is that you need to know which brokerage firms are running certain stocks. Well, if you look at this example right here, Charles Schwab, basically, hold on, let me get my crayons out there. Charles Schwab was ranked 20th, traded stock, because Charles Schwab's a public company, traded 14 million shares. Well, if you look over here, Morgan Stanley traded 94 million shares. That's 94 million that I will ever trade. Well, another thing I was taught by my mentors is, they said, Fausto, when you trade in the stock market, you need to know who the dominating market maker is. And they always ask me, do you know who the dominating market maker is, which is what we call the axe? Do you know who the axe is? And I'm like, no. They're like, well, what makes you think you know where the price of stock is going? You just said stocks go up due to supply and demand. Well, doesn't it be smart to know what the biggest brokerage firm is doing in that supply and demand? And chances are, yeah, right? Well, think about it. It's not going to hurt you. It's only going to help you. Well, these are the things that are going to help you become more strategized when to get in, when to get out of stock. And if you don't, and if you don't know this information, and you're basically, in my opinion, you're trading blind. Because when I first started trading and I lost money in the market, I was trading blind. I admit it. You know, call me a recovering tradeaholic. You know, but yeah, I mean, I had no clue. And then once someone taught it to me, I realized, wow, I mean, this information is really available. I'm like, and my mentors told me, he says, yeah. So if you guys are out there trading positions, next time you do a trade, try to, if you want to learn more about this, like I told you, I'm going to teach you this in my next upcoming event. But it is a very important tool, and I think everybody should know this before they're ever in a position. Here's another one, Goldman Sachs. Do you know Goldman Sachs, the godfather of Wall Street, was ranked 12th from the month of January to July, trading Goldman Sachs? Knight Securities traded almost 5 times more shares than he did. Not even 100. 5 times more. How significant is that? Anybody here trade Goldman Sachs? I've done time to time. And let me tell you something. I'm not watching him. I'm watching Knight Securities. Now, what we have right here, ladies and gentlemen, is if you look at it, this is my sample layout of the MetaStock platform. Now, I kept it very, very simple. Let me tell you some of the great features about the MetaStock platform that I use it for. Now, you have to understand that MetaStock invites a lot of speakers, okay? And they do a lot of these events, and they do a great job inviting these speakers. But one thing you'll notice is that everybody has a different layout. Now, if you look at my layout is kept very, very simple. One thing that I like about the MetaStock platform that most of the other companies don't have is they have a very good top 20 percentage gainer and a percentage loser. Some people only have a top 10. They have a really nice top 20. Now, when I go shopping for stocks, when I look what I want to trade for the day, I look at percentage gainers and percentage losers. That's where I find my stocks. Then from here, I look at what the market makers are doing. I see if they're on the bid or on the offer. This is going to gauge the movement of the stock. Right here in the middle, I have my time and sales to show me the strength of the stock. And then up here on top, if you notice on the chart, I have it really simple where it's showing me I have a 1-minute intraday and a 1-day yearly chart. Actually, I have it backwards. That's the 1 minute. This is the 1 day. So when I'm actually trading a stock, I kind of get a little bit of gauge if I'm at support or if I'm at resistance, wherever it is. So if you look at how I have my MetaStock platform laid out, you can see it's very, very simple. Very simple. See, I'm more of an active professional trader. I don't need all this noise. MetaStock has got so many great features and platforms to it, but when it comes to the way I like to trade, I like to keep it a little bit more simple. But most importantly, and I don't want to change anybody's style, but these are some of the most important windows you should have up and running in your window. Level 2, time and sales, top 20 list, and at least have 2 charts. One is an intraday and more of an intraday chart and a long-term chart. Now, just to tell you a little bit about some hot stocks that we've traded in the past. This is a stock I found on the MetaStock platform. Here's a stock, CHTP. Anybody ever heard of this stock before? Anybody hear of it? Stock was at $7, opened up in the morning, went to $4, all the way down to $1.50. Anybody hear about that stock? Anybody would trade the stock like this? Long? Because I did. Because right at the morning, the stock went from $1.50 all the way to almost $2.50. Now, on 1,000 shares, ladies and gentlemen, on a $1,500 investment, a stock that is down literally almost 80% in value. Obviously, what you had was some averaging down, maybe some people bottom fishing, but you could see that I don't know what the company does, and honestly, I really don't care. All I care about is making money. And that's what you guys should be thinking too. Making money. And here you have an example of a stock that you find in the MetaStock percentage gainer losers that came up, and boom, looking at the stock and be like, wow, this is an opportunity. Remember, I use that tool to help me find stocks to trade, and that's what this was. Here's another example. Another great place to find stock information. Regardless of finding it on the MetaStock platform, obviously watching it on TV. CNBC, you got the biggest winners and losers, breaking news. Now, I don't watch, these financial stations like a soap opera. When I'm trading, you have to be really, really focused on what's going on in the market. But when you're looking at these stations, you got to be really careful. I only use them to educate myself on what the market conditions are going on. Breaking news, like I said, winners and losers, maybe a hot industry that the street's talking about, that because I know that industry, maybe something else. These are things that you learn with experience. But that comes with proper education. Now, let me talk about morning protocol and afternoon protocol. Let me tell you what I do, how I start my day. People ask me this, Fausto, what's your strategy? Like, what do you do as a professional trader? Well, this is what I do, okay? First of all, put my shoes on, make myself a nice cup of coffee, get my caffeine up, turn on my computer, turn on my execution system, specifically the MetaStock platform, look at it, see what's hot moving in the stock market, look at it level 2. I start my day 1 hour before the market opens up. Market opens up not at 9:30 Eastern time. It opens up actually at 8 a.m. Usually a lot of action kicks in around 8:30. So I kind of do my pre-market trading. So I kind of customize my charts to 2 days so I get to see what the, if there's any stocks that are gapped up or gapped down. Then I'll look specifically. I like to look at stocks that have big drops, big drops or big gains, and you know, I'm always looking for, you know, there is support resistance. So I'll go back 1, 2, 3 years till I find it. I'll check and write down the top market makers. You know, once I know I looked up that information, I'm going to check that out. You know, so I know what they're gauging in the pre-market. Pre-market is very, very crucial. Now, I don't recommend anybody here to trade pre-market unless you are a very active, disciplined, and you know if you're disciplined or not, trader. I personally do at Cybertron University. We do pre-market webinars before the market opens up. To find out more, like I said, I'll let you guys know where to register for that event. But we actually go through the pre-market trading before the market opens up. And then when the 9:30 bell rings, boom, then we are out there running like the races. We already have a game plan. We already know what we want to trade. We already know what we want to buy. But then comes in the second part, how to sell. Now you want to have a game plan. You want to know where to get out. You want to know where resistance levels are, all that stuff. Now, the morning is the most volatile time in the market. But when it comes to the afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, it is very important to, it's actually pretty easier to trade. The volatility is not as big, but there is some great volume in stocks. You get to see the trends of the day. You get what I like to look for is see if stocks are breaking new highs, new lows. If we're breaking new highs, obviously going into the 230 time frame, chances are 80%, 70 to 80%, it's going to probably continue up. Same thing when a stock breaks low. But the key here is game plan. You must have a game plan. When you're a trader, if I work with you, if you're one of my students, I will be over you like white on rice. If you don't have a game plan going into a stock, you're better off not even trading. I mean, yes, you can go out there and you can buy the best platforms like MetaStock. You can go out there and have the best brokerage firms. You know, but listen, if you don't have the proper education and someone teaching you have the right game plan, I don't care what you have. You can go out there and race a Ferrari, okay? But let me tell you something. Guy could drive a Ford Pinto and still beat you, okay, on the racetrack, if you don't know how to drive the car. And that has to do about writing down, see what the market makers are doing, and that has to do about knowing where support and resistance levels are. Very, very crucial in today's markets. Now, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that I and what a lot of my students appreciate is, and MetaStock will tell you the same thing, I'm not the type of instructor or trader that is going to show you, you know, hey, you know, this guy made $10,000, this guy made $5,000, you could do this, you could do that, look at this stock. Listen, I'm a realist. I know, you know, I don't know where everybody here is from, but I know for a fact that there's a lot of people out of work, okay? It's really hard to find jobs. Some people trying to meet today's means, you know, whatever it may be. So I look at on the average of what the general public will be happy with. And the way I work things, the way I teach my students is have a game plan over the course of the day, weekly, monthly, be realistic. And let's think about this for a second. If you buy 1,000 shares, a stock moves 20 cents. That's 200 a day, 20 trading days, that's 50,000 a year. Now, you stop and think about this for a second. Do you think it's hard to pull 20 cents out of the stock market? Because the only reason why it is very hard is because you're not disciplined enough. But is it hard to find stocks? I bet every one of you will say, no, it's not. So if you could do that consistently, and that's what I teach, you can make a very nice living trading in the market. Because you got to be realistic. Whatever money you can make, you can lose just as quickly. So you need to know how to have a goal, take those profits, and walk away. doesn't take a lot of effort and time. Trading is not a full-time job. You got the right execution system, you got the right platform, now you need the right education and someone to show you how to find these stocks, how to be disciplined enough, how to find them, and how to walk away and come back tomorrow and do that again. And that's what Cybertron University is about. So, there's a reason why, I don't know if you guys know this, but Equities Magazine has ranked Cybertron University best educational school 5 years in a row. Active Trader Magazine wrote a front page article on us regarding about market maker traps. I don't know if you guys ever heard, we got reverse. You ever buy a stock and as soon as you buy it, thing goes down, as soon as you sell it goes up? Well, there's if you visit our website, click on Fausto's blog, you can read that article, including another hundreds of articles that I've written personally for other magazines. Now, about market maker traps, one of the articles that was in there, it talks about how, you have to understand something. Trading is a game. So you got market makers go out there, they'll pretend they really want to buy it, they really want to sell it, and then they really want to sell it, make you think that they're sellers, but they're really buyers. You know what I'm talking about. You've been there. I mean, how many times, like I said before, how many times have you bought a stock, as soon as you bought it, the thing goes down, as soon as you sell it, goes up? It's really not your fault. You just got caught in a trap. Well, that's one of the real popular courses that we teach at Cybertron University. Now, how do I know this stuff? Once again, this is not the Fausto Pugliese method. I was a trader myself. I was a market maker. So I'm going to teach you exactly how they do it. Listen, no offense, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here just like you are. Okay? If I'm picking the other side, you think I'm going to lose in the trade? Well, you got to know how that trading game is being played, and that's what they cover here in this part of the course. Now, what I want to do right now, ladies and gentlemen, I know there was a lot to absorb, and maybe some of you have questions. So what I want to do is I want to open up for questions, but I do have a free training course that I'm going to offer to all of you that is starting on, it's a 2-day course on May 5th and May 6th. And what I do in this course is I do live trading. Now, if you guys are interested and you want to learn more and you want to register and watch me trade this market and see a true professional, we have basically ran a promotion for MetaStock right on our homepage or our website. I'll actually give you the link if you guys are interested clicking on it. If you click on this link, ladies and gentlemen, or go to our homepage or website, click on MetaStock promo, and right there we will have a promo for MetaStock that's going to register you for the trade live with me personally. Now, I'm the CEO and founder of the company. I'm going to do a private, exclusive event for MetaStock customers. It's a 2-day event. It's recorded. You're going to have tests. And this ain't costing you a dime. It's free. Listen, you want to learn, you got to earn. Okay? And if you want to earn, you got to learn. I'm sorry. So come and join us for this free event, 2 days, private with me, and I'll teach you how to do it in the real market hours. Now, why investors we train are doing better? Several reasons. Number one, our trainees, our trainers are equipped with the proven method to do that. Our trainees are trained to be disciplined. And our trainees are educated with many other products such as Forex and options. So just to let you know, at Cybertron University, here I am talking about stocks. It's just not about stocks. I'm going to teach you how to, you can apply this to Forex, to futures, to options. I'm going to teach you how to be a trader and how to be disciplined like a trader. So this applies for all of us. Now, once again, what I like to do, everyone, if you have any questions, feel free to put in the chat room. And if you guys want to, if you have any questions, like I said, put in the chat room. In the meantime, visit our website, click on that link, you can register for the upcoming event. All right? So does anybody have any questions for me before we call it a day? Any questions about trading, anything? For your morning session, do you start at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m.? Well, we start actually at 9:15 Eastern Time, 15 minutes before the market opens up. It's basically a 10-minute webinar that we do that's going to go through the strategies and what's hot and what's not. I start my work at 8:30, so I kind of have my game plan, and then we kind of give you a quick crash course on what to trade on that. Now, if you guys want to learn more about, if you want to register for that, for the morning meetings, what you can do is just go to this link, and this link will register. Just click on the free button. There's two different values. There's a bunch of links there. Click on the free, and you'll get the morning webinar, live stock trading webinar, closing bell webinar, and and also you'll get our newsletter. So we have two great products to offer you guys for free. Any other questions? All right, then, if there's no other questions, listen, ladies and gentlemen, look at my personal email address. It's faustop@ctucorp.com. Feel free to send me an email. Personally, if you have something that you want to ask me personally, trust me, I answer all my emails. I might not give you back to you tonight, but I will get back to you. Feel free to email me, and hopefully you guys will be able to join us for the upcoming event. No problem. Thank you very much, Joel. I'm glad you enjoyed the presentation. For myself, I'd like to thank MetaStock for inviting me here. Always look forward to doing events and talking to their customers at MetaStock. Guys, you're in great hands. You've got a great product. Enjoy it. But the most important thing about that MetaStock is you have to know how to use it properly. And that's why MetaStock runs these events. So hopefully you'll be able to learn a couple of new techniques and strategies I told you about. And then also hope to see you in my upcoming event. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Kelly, thank you very much for having me. Thank you, MetaStock. Everyone have a great evening.
Thank you, Fausto. We appreciate your time and appreciate the information you always share in the free seminar coming up. Definitely, if you have any questions for us at MetaStock, also feel free to give us a call or